I'm Mary West with your local news on AM 950 KAHI. A Rancho Cordova man held his own child hostage in a Folsom home for 2.5 hours Monday while he talked with hostage negotiators. The police activity caused a nearby school to be locked down. The situation did end peacefully. At 11:18 on Monday morning, Folsom police officers were called to a residence on Van Winkle Court in Folsom regarding a domestic dispute. When officers arrived, they were advised by the victim that her husband had assaulted her and locked himself inside the residence with their child. Officer Jason Browning with the Folsom Police Department says the school lockdown was only a precaution.
We locked down Carl Sendall Elementary School just as a precaution to make sure that none of the children were released from class and came into the area where we were working, which was directly adjacent to the school.
Officer Browning says hostage negotiators talked with the suspect for 2.5 hours.
Our negotiators were able to talk to the suspect, who is identified as Mark Weeder. He's from Rancho Cordova, and he, after 2.5 hours of conversation, finally released the child to our hostage negotiators, and we were able to take him into custody.
The SWAT team apprehended Weeder, age 22, of Rancho Cordova. Neither the child nor the suspect was seriously injured. Weeder was booked into the Sacramento County Jail on charges of domestic battery, child endangerment, and taking a hostage to avoid arrest. Auburn Bike Works, bicycle sales and repair shop on Highway 49, avoided robbery thanks to a new security system and Auburn police officer Stan Hamlin. Store manager Michael Thompson says it's a good thing the store just installed a new surveillance system over the past 6 months.
We went and checked out our video and found that he had been hanging out around the shop for about 2 hours, scoping out all the cameras and everything, and then at about 2:30 he actually disconnected the electricity to the building, assumingly to disconnect the alarm. Then he waited until 4 to actually try and break in which case he failed, and for whatever reason he hung out, was apprehended and arrested.
Auburn police officer Stan Hamlin made the arrest. The name of the suspect is being held as the Auburn Police Department continues their investigation. When local news continues on AM 950 KAHI, the Dwelly brothers of Auburn's Flyers Energy are expanding to Southern California. Local news continues on AM 950 KAHI. I'm Mary West. The Dwelly brothers of Auburn's Flyers Energy are expanding to Southern California. Independent fuel marketer Flyers Energy, formerly Nella Oil Company, announced that it has acquired the assets of Bakersfield's Fleet Card Fuels as of January 5th. The company is in the process of integrating Fleet Card's CFN cardlock sites into the existing Flyers network, making it one of the largest fleet fueling operations in the country. The deal extends Flyers Energy reach into the Los Angeles basin for the first time, picking up supply agreements to more than 50 additional fuel sites branded Valero, Shell, Chevron, and 76. Jay Gavin, director of sales for Flyers in Auburn, says a key growth area for the company is franchising the Flyers name to independent fuel sites.
So what we decided to do is launch our Flyers franchise in the Southern California market, which opens up that franchise to local independent-owned gas station owners, so they can have the choice of now offer the Flyers brand to their customers.
Gavin says picking up Andy Everson from Conoco to manage the new operations is a strong play in the market.
We chose somebody that has a long legacy in that market, Andy Everson, and Andy came to us after 15 plus years at Conoco, so he spearheaded the leadership of growing that brand in the Southern California market to over 300 independently owned 76 stations. So the acquisition of Andy should be a pretty strong play for us in that market.
Flyers of Auburn has retail operations of 44 convenience stores and truck stops. The company operates a fleet of 75 trucks in California and Nevada to keep its base of stores, dealers, and wholesale customers supplied with their fuel requirements. And directors of the Placer County Water Agency on Thursday, March 7th, approved an interim agreement to continue the sale of the agency's hydroelectric energy output to the Pacific Gas and Electric Company effective May 1st. Andy Fecco, PCWA's Director of Resource Development, said the interim agreement is needed because the California Public Utilities Commission has not acted on a May 2012 application for approval for a long-term agreement. PCWA and PG&E last May negotiated the long-term power sale agreement, which is designed to replace an existing 50-year contract that expires April 30th. It covers the sale of the electric energy produced by PCWA's 5 hydroelectric power plants. Fetco said the interim contract may be needed for only a few weeks or not at all, but that the two organizations needed to be prepared for any possible delay. He defined it as a status quo agreement that would continue existing terms as needed. The interim contract also won approval earlier in the day from the Middle Fork Project Finance Authority, a joint powers partnership between PCWA and the County of Placer. I'm Mary West on the Voice of the Foothills, AM 950 KAHI.